My name is Lloyd Milton Barre. I am the younger brother of Alan Victor Barre, um, his junior by 2.5 years. And I wanted to try to help a transition from feeling a painful loss for Alan, but to remember what a remarkable person he was. Alan was easily one of the most dynamic people I ever knew. He was multi-talented. He was an excellent golfer. He was an accomplished musician. He was a pilot with his own plane. Um, but most of all, I admire him because he created his good life. He created and lived out and reaped the rewards of his efforts to create his definition of a good life. And the thing about it was a pretty good life. You have to admit, the epitome of his good life was the concert on a cruise ship, which he did. I don't know how many times, but I know he did once. Um, so it wasn't like he was a hedonist, because it was all centered in quality music and him being a musician himself, uh, and appreciating that kind of thing. So that's what he wanted, and he's just was amazing in how determined, in a way, how efficient he was, and how well thought out his plans were to achieve his dreams. Uh, and he just, he just did that. He moved to Alaska and worked on the pipeline to raise capital for becoming involved in real estate, and he succeeded at that. And he bought his dream home and enjoyed it and played music with good musicians, good gigs. You know, I think this is where Alan was happiest and impressive in what he achieved. Um, I remember that when I went to visit him once, we had the opportunity to jam. So it was me on the guitar, cranked up to be loud enough with playing the drums full out. And it was just amazing how fun that was, how satisfying it was to play with him. Um, a defining moment for me. It was amazing. So, Alan went. If Alan was self-described himself as a concert promoter, and that was his grandest dream. Sean says he lived like a rock star, and he did, in the sense that he was the next best thing to living with the rock stars. He did find a way to cash in on some of the glamour of the music industry and promoting and all that. Very exciting stuff. And there it is. Also, Alan had a lot of class in the way he dressed, in the way he talked, his phone manner. I remember especially was charming, and he was witty, always interesting. Um, his house it was beautifully decorated. The clothes he wore quality shirts sometimes, that were just beautiful. Uh, he had a lot of personal style, I guess is what I'm saying. Uh, he also would take an interest in my academic papers, a couple that I wrote. Well, one was actually a handbook for playing the guitar, and another one was my interpretation of a biblical passage on the death of Jesus. So he didn't comment a lot on it, but he did show an appreciation from my point of view, and that was very gratifying. He was also, he took the role of the big brother becoming the head of the family extremely serious, and he was extremely competent at it and dedicated to his family responsibilities toward me and toward George, and seeing to business, checking up on George especially. He, people have mentioned this about him. He was. I know he would give George haircuts, and right down to taking care of him in the most basic ways. I have to say that his attitude toward me was really rather turned out to be tough love, if you know what I mean. That's all right. I'll have to think more about that. But also, he had a great relationship with Tag. There's a proverb that says there is a friend closer than a brother, and just a beautiful thing. Hello, my name is Lloyd Milton Barre, nearby. I am 2.5 years, and feeling a painful loss for Al. He was multi-talented. He was excellent with his own playing. He created and lived out and reaped the reward. And the thing about it was a pretty good life. You concert on a cruise. So it wasn't like he was a hedonist, because and appreciating that kind of and he's just was amazing in how determined to achieve his dreams for becoming involved in real estate at home, and enjoyed it and played music. I think this is where Alan was happiest. And I remember that when I went to visit him once, we had the opportunity, cranked up to be loud enough with playing the drums full out, play with him. Alan went grandest dream. Sean lived like the rock stars. He did promoting and all that. Very exciting stuff. Also, Alan Manor, I remember especially, was charm. His house was just beautiful, and so would take an interest in my academic papers. A couple. Another one was my. So he didn't comment a lot, and that was very gratifying. The role of the big brother becoming the head of the. People have mentioned this about him. He, taking care of him. I have to say that his also he had a closer than a brother, and